Hello Internet, my name is Paula and welcome to It's Paula Marie. This is going to be a chatty get ready with me, kind of introducing myself to you guys and what this channel is going to be and what you can expect from it. This is the final look, so if you like it, feel free to stick around. So welcome to my channel. I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel and I figured COVID's the best time to do it because I got no one else to talk to. So here we are. So I thought a get ready with me would kind of be a fun way to introduce myself to you guys and kind of what to expect here and what's hopefully coming. So we'll see. But anyway, let's get started. I've already prepped all of my face and all that jazz with moisturizer and sunscreen, which is extremely important. Please don't let anybody tell you anything else. If there's anything that you do in your life, please at least moisturize and wear sunscreen. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyway, let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and pin back my hair a little bit because it's hot and I don't like it in my face. Because Florida is a little too warm for everybody right now. It's literally ridiculous. I think our heat index yesterday was like 107 degrees. What the heck? And people still say that global warming is a hoax. Lies. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna start with priming my face. I'm gonna use the Tatcha Silk Liquid Canvas something, whatever. I have a love-hate relationship with this primer, but we are clearly, it's a little baby sample, which has lasted a really long time, but I kind of go back and forth where I really like it, but I also feel like I have really oily skin and it does absolutely nothing for the oil in my skin. So by the end of the day, I do end up looking pretty oily, but is it oily or is it dewy? You decide. So I'm actually thinking of getting a new primer, but I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, I've literally wanted to start a YouTube channel since I was a kid. I think I have a video up from like ages ago. I think it was like a Doctor Who makeup tutorial that tells you everything you need to know. And I was gonna continue kind of making videos and whatnot, but then I was in school at the time, so I kind of just stopped. That was my excuse anyway. But I kind of hope to continue here and not stop, not abandon it. I'm not in school anymore, so I don't have that excuse. Now I'm going to go in with foundation, and I'm going to mix my foundations because I like to be extra like that. I'm going to take the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation, and this is 220, and the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Liquid Foundation in Champagne. So I'm going to take a little bit of both of those. I've actually been trying to wear less and less makeup lately. I used to be like a full coverage all day, every day kind of person, even when I was going nowhere, which is stupid, and my skin hated me for it, obviously. But then I found this, where's it? I have it right here. The Stick Up Hair Tiger Grass Color Correcting Tape Cream. This stuff is amazing. Like, I started wearing that every day because I mean, I work from home. I've worked from home for almost a year now, so even before COVID happened. And I just wanted something that would just like even out my complexion and just help with the redness, because I do tend to get really red by the end of the day. And that is incredible. And I realized wearing it, I was like, wait a minute, I don't necessarily need as much coverage as I think I do. So I've been kind of cutting back a little bit on the full coverage as I put a million dots of foundation on my face. But no fear, I'm gonna buff that all out, which again, surprising. I'm using a brush. This is a new revelation for me. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm not really sure what I want this channel to be, if I'm honest. I kind of want it to be a little bit of everything, which kind of defines my personality. Because I mean, I love makeup. I've loved makeup for ages. I started wearing it in high school and I've never stopped, to be honest. I remember distinctly there was a picture day that I went hard with the makeup, again with the full coverage. To be fair, I did also have really bad acne, so I wanted that full coverage. A friend of mine, this girl I knew, looked at me dead in the eye. She's like, your foundation looks like you painted your face. And I was like, oh, that's the look I was going for. Like, I totally tried to own it, even though I was like, oh, cool. And by that time, it was obviously like set with powder and everything, so there was no coming back from that. Thankfully, you cannot see it in my photo, so we were saved by that at least. But I've definitely think I've gotten better as the years have progressed. I certainly hope so. I actually worked at Sephora for a few years, and that really helped, like, I think finesse my makeup abilities, if I'm honest. Like, it's funny, when I went into it, I thought that I was so good at makeup, but then the more that I worked there, and I had some like really talented coworkers, seeing their work and seeing like their knowledge, it really kind of grew my own knowledge and my own kind of willingness to try things. So that really kind of helped finesse, I think. I'm gonna go in with some concealer now, which is the Tarte Shape Tape, which I kind of need a new one, but I'm indecisive and I don't know which new one to try, if I'm honest. I'm just gonna use a sponge, a little Real Technique sponge, to blend that all in. So, but yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out kind of the direction that I want this to be. I kind of want it to be a little bit of everything, like I said. I'm a really big Disney fan as well, and I'm hoping within, like, by the end of the year to move down to Orlando. I love Disney. I worked at Disney for a little bit. I did 2 separate college programs, and I was in the same location both times. And both times I met some of the most incredible people in my life. It's crazy to think that, like, working in a theme park of all places brought so many wonderful people into my life. But I'm so thankful for them, and I think it's also really, you know, a cute way to say, like, where'd you meet your friends? Disney. But it also sucks now because we're all in different states, so it's not like we can even do anything anyway because COVID, but, you know, it's not like we can hang out regularly. I am gonna finish up powdering here. I'm looking real powdery today, and that's because I forgot to take my little cream, my Smashbox primer water, before I started everything, but that's alright. I'm gonna go into my eyebrows now. I am gonna brush them up a little bit. Oh, I love doing my eyebrows lately. I could not care less previously about eyebrows. Like, there was a time where I was like, I don't get it. And for some reason, lately I just love doing freaking eyebrows. I love how they define the face, how they frame the face, how they can just like change the overall look that you have going on. I love them. I took a clear brow gel through that. You know, I'm taking a colored brow gel, or tinted brow gel, which is dead, to be honest. I don't even think it's actually depositing anything on my brows because I've had it for a while. Now I'm gonna take a brow pencil. This is the NYX micro brow pencil in espresso. So yes, like I said, Disney, a big part of my life. But I think that would be fun to kind of talk about, especially as the parks kind of navigate this kind of COVID world. I'm really interested to see, like, I haven't been myself yet because I'm in northern Florida, so I'm a little farther away. But I think it's really interesting to see, like, from pictures and whatnot, just like the different ways that the parks are handling it. Like, I know Universal doesn't have this like a cap system in place, like a reservation system, while Disney does. And I think you can really see that on the weekends. Like, I've seen the difference between like the weekdays. Wow, this looks really great. The weekdays at Universal, and then on the weekends where it's just like a normal park day. And so that just makes me like a little nervous and a little hesitant to kind of go back to theme parks in a way. I kind of trust that Disney has their little park reservation system, and while it is a pain in the butt, I totally understand why it's in place, and I kind of almost prefer that. So I don't know. I've actually been kind of trying to get back to my curls. So I used to always wear my hair curly, and then about 2 years ago when I did my second college program, my roommate one day was like, hey, let me straighten your hair. Oh, but I'm just going in with some much loved Anastasia contour. I really should get a new one, but you know, before. And she straightened my hair in I think 30 minutes, which is ridiculous because before, when I would straighten my hair, it took me like 3 hours because I would go through with a blow dryer and then I would go in with the flat iron. I was very meticulous. And she did it and it was gorgeous. Like, it looked great in half an hour. And I was like, what is this sorcery? Like, this is, you're tricking me. And it looked great. And so I kind of like, at first I was like, hey Sarah, can you do my hair again? Hey Sarah, can you do my hair again? But then I started doing it and I kind of got the hang of it, and I could get it down to like 45 minutes. And so then I started straightening it constantly, I think for like the following year. And then up until the beginning of this year, actually, once it started to get a little bit hotter in Florida, I was like, no, well, it's hotter year round, but like I got towards March and I was like, no, I can't. This is too much work to like straighten it in the summer, because it just ends up being frizzy and not very nice. So I was like, okay, what can I do? And then at the time, Sierra Schultze uploaded her like 30 days of trying the curly girl method and like trying to revive her curls. And I watched that and I was like, I wonder, you know, how that would work for me, what that would look like on me as I kind of like go back to wearing my hair curly all the time. And it's been an interesting journey. I started it in March and I've been kind of steadily sticking with it, but it's struggled sometimes. I still don't think that I've like mastered it by any means. Like, I want to get my hair cut because it's really long and you can see my like old color there, but I really want to get it cut, and I want it to get it cut like Anne's curls. I hope I'm saying that right. Her hair is stunning. Her hair is everything that I want, everything that I aspire to. I have no idea though if it's even possible, because I still don't quite know what my curl type is, so to speak, or like the porosity or all of that jazz I still haven't really gotten into. And I'm terrible at being able to like see, or like being able to just kind of classify what it is. So, but I still really want to get it cut, and I wanted to get it cut in like kind of face framing pieces, because before, when I was wearing my hair straight, I had these like little bangs and I tried to cut them myself, which is a terrible idea. Don't ever do it. They had grown really long and I was like, oh, they would look really nice, like curly, if they kind of like framed the right way. And for some reason I thought I could do that. I convinced myself after watching many a YouTube video that I could, and that was a mistake. So now I hide them. But I'm kind of thinking, I haven't gotten my hair cut since December of last year. So I don't know. I don't want to do a big chop either though, because I chopped off my hair once in 5th grade, because if you remember, Gabrielle Montez chopped her hair off in High School Musical for the second one, and I was like, well, obviously I have to. So that didn't go according to plan, if we're honest. And I've never cut it short since. So I don't want to do a big chop, but I do want to get those kind of like layers put in. I think like really long layers would help, because I have no volume at the top of my head. Like, granted, I refreshed my hair a little bit this morning, but I haven't like, you know, shooken it up. But I struggle with volume at the root, but then I also don't like crazy amounts of volume. So I'm all over the place. I don't know what I want is really more of that story. I don't know if I said this, I'm going in with some Fenty bronzer to warm up the face. Good old Fenty. Freaking love Fenty. Fenty, I think, was Fenty? Fenty might have been like one of the last, no it wasn't. No it was. No, I can't remember. I think Fenty might have been one of the last like brand launches that I had at Sephora. And it was so much fun. Like, I remember there was a hurricane on its way that was gonna hit literally the same day. It was September 7th, I remember. And it was the same day that the whole brand was gonna launch, and everyone was so excited, and like, we were pumped, and the store had to close early that day because of the hurricane. And I remember our bosses called us and they were like, do you guys want to come in? Because, you know, with Sephora, I know this is like a known thing that there's, you get gratis for like certain brand launches, or certain brands will kind of basically give you products so that you can better attest to how they work for you, how you like them, all that good stuff. And so our managers called us in and they're like, hey, do you guys can you guys come in just to pick up your Fenty gratis? And I remember all of us were like, absolutely. Because yes, there was a hurricane on the way, but also Fenty. We needed that Fenty. And we were not the only ones, because I remember our sales were pretty good actually for not being open as much time as you would have expected. So I just thought that was funny that like after all of that, still people were still like, no, we need the Fenty. We are going to be waiting for that Fenty, which I totally understand. And I mean, look at how great Fenty has turned out to be. I literally love everything that I've tried from that brand. Like, the foundation stays beautifully. I'm gonna blend this in. But you know what I've been wanting to try and I've been eyeing is the new Rare Beauty. I love the whole premise of that brand, of everything that the brand is trying to do. I mean, like, I watched her do a Vogue video. Was the Vogue, like, her secrets to a cat eye or something? And I just fell in love with her. Like, she just seems so sweet and genuine. And like I said, like, everything that I've heard about what the brand is trying to do and why she created it, what it means, I love. 100% support. So I think I am kind of debating on ordering that foundation. Okay, now I'm gonna go into my eyes. Need to find my eye primer, which is the Fenty, which I've had for way too long. Like, I literally should probably throw this away. But is anyone else like that? I'm terrible at throwing away old makeup. I can't do it. I have this, like, you know those like little fabric drawers that you can buy, like a set? I have one of those that is filled with makeup, or like gratis makeup or samples that I've received, and I can't bring myself to throw away the makeup, especially because a lot of it is unopened. So like, I need to, I'm gonna, that's my goal for like next weekend maybe? I don't know. To go through it all and like try to free up that space, because I could be using it a lot better than, you know, makeup that I don't use or that is expired. But again, I can't bring myself to throw it away. I need to find some. I'm terrible at that. So like, I'm really passionate and I'm really interested in like recycling and like just not, I don't like the idea of throwing things away for the sake of throwing them away. You know, like I don't know, like, it's hard to explain. I had to read this book once in college. It was called Garbology, and it was like how everything you've ever touched, everything you've ever wanted, everything that you own, everything is trash. And that really messed with me. To this day, I still can't kind of wrap my head around it, and it's true. And I literally lost sleep over this book. It's eye-opening, but I kind of took it a little too much to heart. And ever since then, whenever it comes to like things that are like broken or things that you have to throw out, I struggle with it. I'm like, okay, how else can I do this? And what sucks about like where I live in a suburb that like there's nothing, like there's no like initiatives or like, you know, it's just really difficult to find organizations or anything that's close to you that will recycle, like, you know, old tennis shoes, or that will recycle clothes that have holes in them that aren't necessarily good enough to either be donated or go to, you know, charity or something. It's just really difficult, or it's really expensive. Like, there's literally a website that is like dedicated towards that, but it's more for like companies to sponsor boxes for their like offices and things. And it just drives me crazy because I have so many things that I need to get rid of, but I cannot bring myself to throw them away if I know that they can be recycled, or they can have, you know, another use or something. You know, they don't have to go rot in a landfill. So I don't know. That's just my headspace. That's how I work. But let me guys know if you've ever read that book, because oh my gosh, I literally lost sleep over that. So there's only 2 books in my life I love to read. Let me preface it with that. I'm part of that generation that Harry Potter introduced me to the world of reading, and I never stopped. And there are 2 books that I have lost sleep over, not necessarily in a good way. It's Garbology and The Devil in the White City, which is about like one of the first known serial killers. Oh my gosh, great book. If you're into that, you will love it. I am not into that. I don't like knowing about serial killers. I don't like any of that. No, I'm not a horror person by any means. Give me Disney, give me Harry Potter, just no, but no horror, murder, no thank you. And I had to read it for school, and it was interesting. Like, I couldn't put it down. But then at night, oh my God, I couldn't sleep. It was terrible. I hated it. And like, it sucks because I think that author, he has a few other books with like a similar premise, because the whole reason I had to read it at school was that it's literary nonfiction, where it like tells you historical events that are written like a novel, which is fascinating because, like I said, I love history, I love learning, and I love books, so it was just like perfect way to like read things but not really realize that you're learning in a way. Like it's just like a refreshing twist on reading about history, and it plays on a whole bunch of things that I think are really interesting, like, you know, everyday life in the past and stuff like that. But my point is that I would love to read other books from him, and I would love to read more of that whole genre, but for some reason I can't really find many that are not about murder, which I don't want. So I just thought that was interesting. And I saw this thing on Facebook the other day that was like, list 10 books that have changed your life. And I would be curious to know if you guys have any suggestions or what those 10 books are for you, because I am currently rereading all of the books that I have and all of my favorite books from like growing up. Did that start with Harry Potter? Yes. Have I reread The Sorcerer's Stone twice this year? Yes. May I read it a third time? Probably. It's just really comforting. There's something really, really comforting to me about the world of Harry Potter. I don't know why, but I wish I could live in that world. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, but that's just like home for me. So it's really nice in these times when like nothing else is comforting. There's very little comfort around and everything's really uncertain, to kind of step back into that. But yeah, I want to know, are you guys reading anything? What books have had that impact on you, good or bad? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with my eyes now. I'm trying to find my brush. Found it. I love this brush. This is from, I think, Sonia Kashuk, which I don't think is even at Target anymore, which is heartbreaking. And it's just, the way it's just slightly tapered, I love it. It means everything to me. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my very well-loved Modern Renaissance palette. I am gonna take a little bit of golden ochre. Taking a little bit of golden ochre, and then I don't know where I'm gonna go from there. Something light. Like I said, I love books, and for me, Harry Potter was definitely that like the starting point for me. It's actually funny, when I think I was like 6 years old maybe, when The Half-Blood Prince came out The Half-Blood Prince was first released. And I distinctly remember, it's one of my first memories, so maybe I was younger than 6. I might have been like 5 or 4. I was really little. But I remember we went into Sam's Club and I saw it, and for some unknown reason, I was like, I want it. I was determined that I wanted this book. And my parents were like, bless them. They were like, but you've never read, are you gonna read it? I was like, yeah, no, I'll totally read it. I did not read it, plot twist. And I remember the cashier was like, she was obviously like really into Harry Potter. And she was like, oh my gosh, are you a fan? Like, have you read them before? Are you excited for this one? And I was like, no, I've never read them. And she's like, well, you're buying this one first? I was like, yes. I don't know why. I just thought maybe it was like the look of the book that I just wanted. And it sat on my shelf for years, like literally years. I didn't think of it after that. I wasn't even into reading at the time. Like it didn't call me at all, the like idea of reading. But for some reason, I just wanted this book. And so years later, at the Scholastic Book Fair that my school had, which even though at the time I didn't read per se, I still loved, because I loved looking at all the little knickknacks that they had. Oh my gosh. The feeling of when you would get that little flyer that it was coming, the best. But anyway, for 1 year, my mom was like, I'm gonna buy you Sorcerer's Stone, since it's the first book in that series, so that you can read that series that you have at home. So yeah, I'm gonna read it, totally, of course. And it took me a little bit. I didn't read it at first because I still hadn't like gotten into reading for fun. I would read it, for school. And then one day I read this like random bright pink butterfly book, and I read it all like for fun, and I read it on my own. and I read it pretty quickly. And I remember thinking like, oh, that's like, I get it now. And then after that, I saw Sorcerer's Stone and I was like, oh, let me read this. And the rest is history. I was freaking hooked. I remember I read them all in a week. I didn't read them all in a week. I read each book in a week. I gave myself a week to get through it because when I finished Sorcerer's Stone, I think it was Sorcerer's Stone was taking me a week to read because I was like 9, maybe. I can't remember how old I was. Maybe I was like 11. And after that, I learned that I needed to give myself a week because I wasn't going to get the next book until the weekend. So I would take my time purposely reading it so that I wasn't going to run out of like the book because like I just couldn't wait. And oh my gosh, I wish I could go back and relive the feeling of reading those books for the first time. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But it was just, after that, the rest is history. Like I said, I love Harry Potter so much. It's fine. As I keep growing up, I keep revisiting the series, and I just love that you keep learning more and more. Like, as when you read it for the first time, and then when you read it, maybe as a teenager, or you read it then as an adult, like you always find new meaning. You always find something else, and like it's just, I could go on, and I'm not going to. Maybe in another video. I'm just taking now the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Like a Shot. Oh, hello, as I drop it. I love this. It's such a pretty shade. I love that it gives an intense sheen to the eye, but there's no like straight, like there is glitter, but it doesn't drown out everything. I just love it. I'm taking Cypress Umber now, which is the darkest color, to slightly line my eyes. I am going to set my face now with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Love this stuff. I stand by this. I've tried to change for some reason, and I always come back to this. And like, this was faithful to me. Like, I have used this, like when you work at Disney and you work really long shifts. So like when you would work 9 hours, right? I say you worked 9.5 hours. I think was the longest shift that I had. Then you go and run around the theme park for like another 5 hours. Still stayed on. Or when you get on Big Thunder Mountain and it suddenly pours rain and you're on a roller coaster with a full face of makeup and you're like, what have I done? Still stayed on. It was beautiful. I'm gonna let that seep on the skin. So yeah, what have you guys been watching in quarantine? By the way, I like to put everything back in its box. I don't know why I'm 100% that person though. So, here we are. But yeah, what have you guys been watching in quarantine? I started watching High Seas or Altamar, and I have a lot of mixed emotions on this series. Like, please let me know that I'm not the only one. I really enjoyed season 1 up until the end, and if you've seen it, you know why. But I can't get through season 2. Season 2 is just kind of boring to me in a way, and just not my scene. Like I said, not my scene. But I don't know, maybe I'll finish watching it, but I'm not there yet. Just put a little lip color on, just the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in London. I love to put this on top of a lip balm, because then it just gives your lips like the just slightest color. But it lasts really well with everything. So, love that. Once this dries, I'm going to curl my lashes and put on mascara, which is one of my last steps. But curling my lashes takes forever because my lashes are stick straight. They hate me. So I like to be extra and I curl them for like 3 minutes, which is ridiculous. Actually, it's 2 minutes, but still, because you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? My next kind of project is possibly learning to sew. Like I said, I'm really into vintage things, and I really want to get into cosplay, which is really scary to me, but I kind of have this idea. So going back to my love of Harry Potter, I think my first cosplay I really want to do version of like Hermione in the final battle, which is really easy to do, and it's something that like my like goal slash thought is to wear it to Universal if I go in December, because I usually go every year with my family to Orlando for like a week for my birthday. So my thought is to do it then, but again, we'll see how that goes. Thank you, COVID. But I kind of want to start practicing with it. Like I did a trial run, not even a trial run. The other day when I was going to take my makeup off, I started like contouring my face and like seeing how I can make myself look more like, or look like Emma Watson. So that was really fun. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, to be honest. Like I thought it would be really stressful, but I was like, no, this is kind of fun to see how you can manipulate your face and play with makeup to like create that illusion. So that was fun. I think I want to continue with that. So let me know if you guys would like to see my kind of trial and error there. I think that could be interesting. And like I said, I'm no expert. I'm 100% a novice, beginner in the realm of cosplay and like that whole scene. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think that could be fun. Right, curled one side. I'm gonna go in with my Lash Paradise mascara. I like to use waterproof mascara just because I find it holds a curl better. Don't judge me, but I do really like clumpy, like not spider lashes, but I do like them to be a little thicker. Dramatic lashes, we'll say that. That sounds a bit better than clumpy lashes, but you know, teach their own. I go back and forth, but on the bottom lashes, I always like to put just like a little bit. It's funny, like on the top lashes, I want them to be like thick and noticeable, but then the bottom lashes, I'm like, just a hair to darken them up a bit. A little bit. Oh god, here we go. Oh, thank goodness. Saved. I am going to line the waterline with a nude pencil. I love the look that this gives my eyes. And then I'm going to take my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil that I don't have a sharpener for, so I'm just using a little brush to highlight my inner corner very gently. Clearly, I like to make my eyes look as big as they possibly can. And last but not least, highlighter. Yes, I can hear you. Oh, you have oily skin. Why do you like to use highlighter? I don't know. It's a recent phenomenon, if I'm honest. I literally have had so many highlighters that I've got. I'm like, oh, I love, nope, never wear it, never wear it. But for some reason with these, this is the Rach Loves Life Pixie collaboration. I love these highlighters. I don't know what it is. I don't know what Pixie puts in them, but oh my gosh. They are stunning. Look at that, look at the difference in that. Look at the color, that doesn't match me. Should I have taken my foundation down my neck? Probably. But like I said, you do you. I'm not gonna judge you, you don't judge me, it's great. And a little bit on the nose. Just a little bit. Oh, that was too much. And what I like to do, and this is my like, because I have oily skin, is take my foundation brush and just blend it out a little bit. So it's not as noticeable either, so. Beautiful. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the finished look. This is my everyday running errands, want to feel nice and put together look. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe to see more stuff from me in the future. Like I said, I don't really know what my next video is going to be, but I don't know. I think it could be interesting possibly to do like everything that I've bought in quarantine, because there's been a good amount. But I don't know, let me know if you guys would like to see that. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching and have a great day, rest of your day, evening, wherever you are. Bye-bye.